Welcome to the Four Light Podcast. We're a weekly podcast about gaming news, and all things entertainment related. I'm your host for this evening, Leighton, along with my co-hosts.
I'm Aiden.
I'm David.
And I'm Ethan.
And so, yeah, let's get started. We are back day one off of PAX East, where we went, all four of us together, and stayed for 2 nights, and we went for a Friday and Saturday venture. Not a 4-day because we're broke college kids, but we had a lot of fun and saw a lot of stuff. It was really interesting. So for those who don't know, PAX East is a gaming and nerdy convention that is held both in Boston on the East Coast, and then there's PAX West on the West Coast. Seattle?
There are a few other PAX
South as well.
PAX South?
I think there are like 4 PAXs in total.
I
huge
doubt
gaming convention.
North.
I remember, isn't this the biggest one? I swear it is, because that's the only one I've ever heard
It's
of.
this and West.
They said PAX West
is the second.
PAX West is obviously
Probably
going
the
to be
second
bigger
biggest.
because it's in like LA or San Fran.
No, it's in
No, it's
Washington.
not. It's in
It's
Washington.
in Washington?
It's in Seattle.
Who the
Seattle.
hell would want to put it in Washington?
Because
that's
Seattle's
where
a
it started.
wonderful city.
And also, Seattle's awesome.
Seattle's a
That's
great
fair.
fucking
I
city.
forgot about Seattle for a second, and I'm like, why would you ever put it in Washington?
Because it's awesome, dude.
Because Seattle's a great...
But I think it's interesting because I've only ever heard of PAX East, and that's through Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. I wonder why they chose East and not West.
Well, because
Location.
Jack lives in London, and Mark normally goes home to
Cincinnati.
So
I
it's
guess
closer to
so.
East.
I guess it makes sense, but like that's not that much closer.
Well, it's
I
also-
mean, if he's gonna be flying either way,
A lot of
which he
people
definitely
travel.
is.
It's different. Like, PAX East and PAX West aren't held at the same time. And then why would they do that? Because they break up their...
Well, what I'm
flow.
saying is I only ever heard of PAX East.
Oh, okay. I get
Yeah.
that. I'm pretty sure they do... I mean, they used to because of COVID. Like, a lot of stuff was held back, which we'll probably talk about. But
Favorite part of PAX? David, go.
Okay, my favorite part of PAX overall was definitely meeting the Shovel Knight dev. I'm
yeah,
not
that was
gonna-
dope. That
that's
was so
sick.
cool.
because we've talked about it on the podcast before that we have I was trying Shovel Knight. I wasn't as impressed at first, and then slowly the obsession grew. If you guys remember, I was like, the game seems interesting, like I'm gonna give it a shot, and I played it. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good, like I like the mechanics, I think it plays really well.
And
And
then it
then
was
I
a
came
review
back
game.
from break and I go, oh my god.
The Elden Ring.
Kind of devolved from there, you know.
Like legitimately though, it is a fantastic game, extremely fun, and I highly recommend you guys play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up meeting the dev, and I actually didn't realize how small of a game it was. Like, it seems like a pretty small game.
It is.
Like,
It is quite
but I
small,
didn't realize the dev only had like 4,000 followers on Instagram. Like,
Wow, that small? I did not realize it was
I
that
didn't
small.
realize it was.
I've heard
small.
Shovel Knight all over the place.
I've
Yeah,
heard it
that's
all
interesting.
over the place too, right? So
I feel
like,
it's Shovel Knight, though, is a more recent game, isn't it?
Not
no,
really.
no,
it's
not
an
at all.
older
16,
game.
Like,
What is it?
It's an old.
2014.
It's an older game.
I mean, 2014, though, is still kind of...
well, I mean, like Hollow Knight, like Team Cherry, they have like 50,000 followers.
How old is Hollow Knight?
2018, no, 2019 even.
Yeah.
It was 2019. Actually, 2016 gang right here.
I don't know why I
Yeah,
liken
it's-
Shovel Knight to, like, the older... I mean, just because of the style of it.
Well, yeah, it's
I guess.
definitely
The
it's
style is
a
older,
pixelated older style, but like it definitely has the feel of a more modern game. It is meticulously like
Crafted.
played out and like
Yeah.
everything. So that was
I always thought it was more
oh
popular.
my gosh, that blew my mind meeting the dev because I literally shook his hand because I was kind of in awe. I'm like, dang man, I have been playing your game. I'm obsessed with your game. Like legitimately, I started playing it 6 months ago. He actually asked me, he was like, when did you first play our game? I'm like, 6 months ago. And he's like, oh, cool. I think he wanted me to say, like, I've
Forever
been a
ago,
fan for,
friend.
like,
Yeah.
8 years. But, like, truthfully, I played it 6 months ago, and it was, like, really impressed.
Into it, yeah.
And plus, like, I'm going to keep it real, the completionist on YouTube touts it as his favorite game, even though he's played, like, 2,000 games plus. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, damn, if it's his favorite game there,
It's gotta
out
be
of
good.
those people, it must be really good. And it is a really good game. I'd still say Hollow Knight's my favorite of the two, though.
I know you were talking to me while we were there at the convention. Like right after you had met him, you came to me and said, "Yeah, I went to the booth and I was I was like really interested in the game, and I was really considering like getting something, and then I was like, whatever. And then I met the dev, and then man purchased a Shovel Knight plushie.
No, that was one of the things.
Yeah.
I didn't purchase the Shovel Knight plushie at first, and then I met the dev, and I went,
Why
you
didn't
know
I buy
what?
that?
To commemorate this, I'm going to buy
Yeah.
the plush. Also, this thing is so sick. This is how he looks in the game. He has the shovel on the back until he's attacking, and it gets into his hand, which is sick as hell.
Yeah, the thing's got a magnet on it.
Like, it's got a magnet in it, and the dude can hold the thing. I'm not usually a big plush... Actually, no, I am a plush guy, but,
Yeah.
like... But I don't usually get, like, gamer paraphernalia when plushies.
Mine's
So,
got a
like...
magnet too, I just realized.
So it's really, really sick, and Aiden and I both kind of splurged a little bit on these plushies here. But
oh
yeah,
my god, this thing, like, $26, but totally worth it.
my
He
favorite
sent
thing...
me a picture of it in the catalog, and it was just no context, just a picture of the plush,
At, like,
and I was
one of
just
the
like,
random stores.
He's standing
Where?
next to me and goes,
where?
David just sent me a Nico plushie. I gotta go. And
I gotta go.
But yeah, of
Yeah.
everything we saw, my favorite thing
Hollow
was
Knight dev.
the Hollow Knight dev. Because
Not
that's
Hollow Knight
something...
dev. Not Hollow Knight. Shovel Knight dev.
Sorry, Shovel
My
Knight
bad.
dev. Like, legitimately, that
Same
blew me
shit.
away. I'm extremely, extremely happy about that.
So, Aiden, what was your favorite? Although I can kind of already maybe guess it, potentially.
Guess it.
Nico plushie.
To be honest, I really do love the Nico plushie, but
Oh, I think I know what
your Honestly, favorite is. I don't have a favorite part. I just kind of enjoyed it all the way through.
I
Bullshit.
thought- I don't know. You must have
the
liked...
Living Tombstone.
Mm.
You're kidding.
this guy.
This guy. Okay, so for context, the
They
four
who
of
shall
us,
not be named
The
kind of brought that down a
the
little bit.
three of us, fucking David, Ethan, and I, were like kind of like on the fence about going to the Living Tombstone concert that was being held on Friday
Yeah,
at like
it was
8,
free
9:30.
too. Which
It was
is
a free
really,
concert.
It's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it was.
cool.
And I was genuinely interested, but I didn't want to like come back from PAX, drop all our stuff off, buy another Uber. But I was down to do it because I know you really wanted to, Aiden.
And you know,
And-
I wanted to kind of support my friend too.
Yeah,
that's exactly how I felt.
That was the biggest thing. And we went, and it was interesting.
To say the least.
The They Who Shall Not Be Named. And then the Living Tombstone had a couple of good songs in
I
there.
think the Living Tombstone was one of those things where it's like, I remember, I have a strict memory of working with Aiden because our first job was together. Like we applied to the same place. And I remember we shared like an earbud
Oh my
or
God,
something,
yeah.
and he played My Ordinary Life, and it's like, it's just a simple thing, but I remember just like I'm like stalking vegetables, and I look over, and he's just like doing this while My Ordinary Life is playing, and it's like the fact that song, like at that
That
moment,
is where
was
I
like,
showed it to you. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
moment of being like thinking about that
Damn.
artist and being like, holy crap, like this is so cool, like this is a great song,
Yeah.
blah blah. And then Friday night we're listening to them play it live. Like it's so
I will admit it was really sick to see
No,
like them up there on
I
stage.
fully
and
agree.
going
If
at
it wasn't like an hour and 15 minutes of like the group before them, and then the Living Tombstone, which went on
Oh,
for
yeah.
another hour, and
It was
also
a
the
grind
music was a
through.
little too loud, a little
Oh, it was.
unbalanced incorrectly.
Yeah, the sound system
like,
was a little
It was
but-
a little messy, and it kind of just and you know, sometimes I get like overwhelmed with sensory stuff like that.
and we're sound
and,
knobs.
And
Yeah,
I'm
no.
also-
All
We're
four of
music-
us are kind of
we're
like
music snobs.
band nerds.
Yeah,
and
we're also
music
kind of like
nerds.
band nerds, so like it was a little unbalanced. It was a little bit like it could have been better, but like after the 3 hours, I was just brain dead. And
Yeah.
The Living Tombstone wasn't bad because it was electronic, and you
No,
like
that's
obviously
fair.
you could turn the volume down a little bit. It was loud.
I think there was
loud.
only
was
two
loud.
songs that had that piercing thing,
Oh my
and it was
God.
just the group before that had one of the instruments just like, it was just the way that instrument
it was a
is.
Yeah.
destructive instrument.
Yeah, no.
gain all the way up.
Yeah, no, good lord.
But
Um,
also, like, there were multiple times when I was just... I generally, when I go to concerts and things like that, I bring these headphones. Sorry, not headphones, like these noise-canceling earbuds, which I love so much, and I totally forgot them. And
Yeah.
this is the thing, like, I do have sensory issues with extremely loud sounds, and that was one of those things where it like,
Yeah,
Ethan looks
I
over
could-
and he's like, what are you doing,
It was like,
David?"
yeah, because I was just like, the way I was positioned was this way, and then I would turn left, and it was like a kind of like a roll the dice. David would be doing this because the instrument would be playing
Also-
some loud ass
Plus,
thing.
the area that we were sitting, it was all on one ear. Like, if,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was really
Oh, yeah.
pounding.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very hard for me to not be like, okay, I'm
like
gonna go step
I was
out for a little
often
bit.
I was often turning to the right a little bit so that it could be straight on and like not, because once it's straight on, it's a little better. But once you turn to like straight and it's on one ear, it's just
I
Yeah.
will say though, it did get a little bit better when I
Put
the hood up,
put
yeah.
the hoodie up.
Yeah, I saw you like put it up and
Yeah, I went like
crunch it.
this.
I was like, what the hell is he doing?
I went like
That-
this and kind of cuddled up like this to myself. And Aiden, after I did this for like 10 minutes, he just looks over at me and says, David, I swear I haven't seen you move. Are you okay?
and I'm like, dude, are you good?
It was
So-
it was like 10, like I mean we stay up like late too.
Yeah, we
like the
did.
first night we played Magic and then we watched Princess Mononoke.
I stayed
that
up
was
for
very
watching
great.
the whole thing.
I mean, I
Bang.
fell
I,
asleep.
me
Fell
too,
asleep, like,
though.
10 minutes
Fantastic
in.
movie.
Fantastic movie. I've never seen
Me neither.
the
So
entirety
good.
of a Studio Ghibli movie, and that was
Ghibli.
I even put it in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be wrong, and Ethan's gonna make fun of me. I hate you. I hate you. But yeah. Anyway, so if that wasn't your favorite part, what was your favorite part? So like, just general.
Honestly, just in general, I had a
Yeah.
good time all throughout. Like seeing
mean,
seeing
yeah.
all the cosplays and like getting the plush and getting like all the magic stuff that we did. Buying Broodvok, like that was
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a huge part for me because I'm like, oh my god, I now have like the greatest thing.
Yeah, it's part of his magic deck that he's making, which is
yeah.
like, what, $30, $35?
It was a $35 card
Yeah,
that I
that's
sold
crazy.
some cards for.
Goodness gracious. So, I know. Let's go ahead and go on to you, Ethan. What was your favorite part? I'll say mine last.
I would say honestly, same thing as Aiden. Is that it was just all around. Like I've been out of the group. I've been 3 times before this.
Yeah,
on
we were.
separate
I think
years.
all 3 of
Actually,
us were first.
Yeah, I haven't asked you yet. What did you think in comparison to the other packs?
I mean, so we had a friend who came last minute, and he's been to other PAXs as well. And I would say, like, it depends on the type of gamer you are. This year, for me, was very an eye-opening thing of, like, the past years was before COVID. And so a lot of AAA, like Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony were all there every year, big booths. And so this year, they had Nintendo, but it was, I think, Nintendo versus arcade. So it wasn't showing off new games. It was just like play.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
Yeah, it was
Nintendo
a test out
playing
Nintendo.
And you had like
Consoles.
Square Enix, which I don't know how we missed.
We didn't.
How
have
did
that.
we miss Final
completely
Fantasy?
how we
Final
missed-
Fantasy.
How did we
I'm
miss
so
that?
upset about that because I really do like
We
Square
missed
Enix as
all
a
of
developer.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
We never even touched the Nintendo arcade to even look
didn't.
at.
That was another thing. The lines were atrocious. Like I passed,
that is one
and it
of
was
the
like
things, yeah.
around the booth like twice.
So that kind of as to why like my favorite part of it. I know like you're saying generally was your favorite, kind of like Aiden was, and it was all really fun for you. That kind of that whole like really giant lines thing leads into my favorite part. Just one of many reasons why it was my favorite part, but going around to the indie game studios and the developers and like meeting them, like being right there, having really short lines because everyone else is going to the friggin' giants, right?
Yeah.
And like having the short lines to play the games and really enjoy myself was my favorite part. Being able to talk to people like the indie game studio developers, and yeah, I think we can probably move into our next
do
topic.
we need to talk about this guy right here?
So
This guy, it was very important to our PAX experience day 2.
okay,
Also-
so as far
You didn't
as
even open it. You get pins and stuff.
yeah, I know I did open it,
Oh.
but anyway, so yeah, indie game studios and developers and going around and meeting them and playing their games, like the yeah, we'll get into it, but that was my favorite part. So getting into that topic of like notable games specifically, I think we can probably start at what Aiden has just referenced, Gunrunner. Oh my god, I did not okay. To elaborate, it's funny because we had gone over this. There's Crit Rate, I think, was there. There's this new review company that are starting like this new way of doing things where they'll sort people based on their personality into what kind of gamer they are, and then those gamers go off and review for each of their house.
And you know what was really interesting was you two were the same house.
Yes, we
But
were
then-
both Bravadeers, I believe.
Aiden and I were both distinct from everyone else in our group, which
Yeah.
is Interesting. I mean, mine was built on exploration and honestly slow-paced gameplay.
Yeah, I love this game.
I love this game. It's a book. Disco.
Your
It
favorite
fits-
game is a
it
damn
lit-
book.
Like,
It's
it
true.
is funny because it fits. Every single one fit pretty much perfectly, and not
Each of
like
these.
how
I
like
mean-
a typical quiz online would. Be.
Yeah, like legitimately,
Yeah.
it was like, you like this type of game, check out this game. And when you guys did, you were like,
Damn, this game's fun.
Yeah.
Crazy how it
All
works.
of
Yeah, they
the,
did
to,
a
be-
great
to
job.
be honest, all of the games that were listed as like you'd like this game, I didn't really seem interested in.
well,
Did
maybe
you
it's
check
because
out most of them? Like, which
I
ones
saw
did-
a couple of them, and
I-
I was just like,
I feel it's difficult for you to tell too because yours was all about wanting to play with friends
yeah,
and multiplayer.
it's
stuff.
sociability.
Yeah, that's difficult because I mean,
You're not.
how many different kinds of
sociability
games can you
playing.
play? You can play Stardew Valley multiplayer and you can play Destiny multiplayer.
Yeah, no, there's a little bit of
I mean-
ambiguity there.
yeah.
So,
But,
it was
Hey, I
interesting.
mean, Stardew Valley multiplayer is pretty on the nose. So.
Stardew Valley is sick. But for the two of us,
Jesus.
it was funny because we both got Bravadeers, which are the kind of competitive multiplayer gamers. And
think like Call of Duty or Elden Ring as like big name examples.
Yeah,
for,
even-
what
even-
people in this house would play.
even and then
Sekiro.
like even there
Sekiro.
we know we're like different, like even there we kind of compared ourselves after the event and we were like talking about how even there we're still kind of differing, but we're in the same category
Right.
but still kind of different.
I had we all went through and just kind of described, and I made the point of like Leighton plays games to better himself.
Yeah.
And he plays that challenge to better himself, and not necessarily because there's something at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah,
I play
like,
it
get a
because
certain
I want
time.
the rainbow. I
Oh my
want the
God.
gold. That's
Yeah.
all I care about. And like,
Yeah, you need the reward.
I
and-
forcibly put myself into these
This
games,
damn-
not
this
necessarily because
damn
I'll enjoy
game.
it.
yeah.
So, like, for example, you would shoot for a time that was 1498 or something like
Yeah.
that.
Okay, yeah, so
No,
then-
let's
for context-
explain this.
For context, we'll go ahead and get into the indie game studio. I mean, so yeah, crit rate. We got Sword in the Houses, and it's just funny because I don't normally speedrun things. I'm not a speedrunner. I think the only other example I have for a time where I legitimately tried speedrunning something was Katana Zero because it just worked that way in my brain. It was quick, fast paced, and that's the kind of game I love to play. Not necessarily single player, but like single player is fun too. And in this instance, we went over to a booth that had Gunrunner up, and it's a new platformer developed by I forget Pixel Cast Games.
It's developed by one guy.
It is. His name's Alex. He's a really nice dude, and we like met him and talked to him and some of his friends that were there helping him set up his booth and stuff. And yeah, so Pixelcast Games, and we checked it out, and I ended up staying there for like an hour.
Dude,
I stayed there.
It was
Okay,
so bad.
I started speedrunning. I was watching other people like play the game.
Explain the challenge too.
Okay, so the challenge was there was this one level, the climb. It's like the last level of the game that they currently have.
Second last.
I thought
Second.
there's a
second to
boss
last.
after.
There's the boss. Remember, like right after that.
Oh, the boss is after that. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I beat the boss as well. But so it was the second last level, the climb, and there's a challenge of you beat it in 15 seconds, you get
Under
Enamel
15
pin.
seconds.
an enamel pin, which was sick. I got that. And then you beat it in under 13 seconds, and you get this whole pack saying, "Hey, you did this! Oh my goodness, you beat you beat this. You get all these many things, which included like
I think it was a pin,
a pin,
the
this
special
box,
art, and
which is there's only like 50
a
of these.
sticker.
A sticker and another pin I accidentally
yeah.
got. But yeah, so when we were playing, I got to what was it, like 15ish, and then I
around 15.
cut my time underneath 15. I got the pin. Kept cutting my time, kept cutting my time, got under 13, kept cutting my time,
No.
kept cutting my time.
No, he's not even explaining it well. He cut his time under 15, got the pin, and we're like, "Oh, Leighton, you did such a good job. Let's go walk around." And he's like, "No, I need to get under 13." And it's just
worst
like,
thing
just
is,
wait,
like,
It's
me
under
and him
get under
walked
13.
by, and I was like, "Oh, like Aiden, like check out this." And I picked up the controller, and Aiden was just kind of like, and he was interested after we started playing, and then we were sharing back and forth, and I was like, "I just want to finish," and Aiden was like, "Just let me try back
Yeah,
and forth."
gi- it gives
we
you that-
walk by and we were like, "Hey guys, could we try the game?"
It was David and I walking by these two
I
playing
was like,
Gunrunner.
we were so. I was, and in retrospect, I wasn't close, but like, and because I hadn't even learned some of the key things, but the main part of that was I'm looking and I'm thinking, and as David walks, I'm like, David's probably gonna pick this up 3 tries, try it through, and exactly what he did. He drops it after like a couple tries.
He gave it
And, like,
over to
kinda
me.
walks
Okay,
away.
I want to explain this. So I am the type of gamer who I am a perfectionist when it comes to those types of games. If I'm not getting it perfect, I don't want to do it.
That's
and
fair.
that's the type of game where like I know I can do it perfect if given 3 hours. So like. And the thing is, I probably wouldn't even beat the level till it was perfect in my mind. Like,
Which was exactly what Leighton was doing. And
Well, it wasn't even like
It wasn't even like that,
it wasn't a
like-
sense of perfection. It was I got under 15. Okay, I want to get under 13. I got under 13.
Okay, now let's
I-
get for the high
It,
score.
not even that. It was I got under 13. I'm like I can do better. I got this.
He
There's a
literally
couple of parts
beats-
I could.
He beats
Get
the
up.
daily high score and then proceeds to knock another guy out, even though both of them could have just won the game.
He tied with another guy, and the devs said, "Oh, since you guys both got the high score, we'll just give you both the package." And then he's like, "No," and then he goes back and beats his
To be
current
fair,
time.
that guy also beat.
Now
Leighton
that
at the end of the day,
you
though.
guys are saying that, I feel so bad because I didn't even think about that. Like, damn, we could make a pact to just get the game. No, I kept shaving.
The
I wanted the
same
time.
dude comes back and ended up beating you, which
Yeah,
is like
he
that
beat
back
me
and
by
forth.
0.1 seconds. I was down to 1185, and he got to 1175, and then I think he cut it down just a tiny bit more, but that was it.
Which he was really cool, and you guys were like
Yeah, he was
fist
sick.
bumping and like talking.
It was
and
awesome. There was another guy there who was speedrunning who
he was the best.
I grabbed the strategy from him and then went at that, and then it was really cool, and I really enjoyed myself. And the game was fun. The guys were fun that I was playing with. The dev was,
Alex was awesome.
Yeah, Alex was amazing. All his friends were amazing helping him, and so we had a lot of fun doing Gunrunner. But before that, before we got to Gunrunner, it was David and I.
I do really want to quickly say though, was that your favorite game? Like, was that the highlight of the con for you?
I think the indie games in general were the highlight because as much as I really enjoyed Gunrunner, there was some other stuff too that was just I was blown away by.
And also, if there's anyone from the Gunrunner community in this chat right now, just make sure to give us a hi.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Yeah.
We'll like say hi back and we'll be like, "What's up?"
And also, so
I don't know.
while that might have been the game that Leighton was obsessed with at
It
the
was
time,
sick.
there was a game that I was like, this is the best one
Well,
that I've seen played
Okay,
here.
I was there too. I
No,
was
you
I
were
was on
there,
that
too.
level as well. I was like, "Holy crap!"
So
I'll let you
this
check
was
it out.
an independent game company that had no funding, no backing behind it while creating it. They did it as a passion project past their day jobs. And what is fantastic is I play the game and it legitimately feels like a fully fleshed out, incredible game to play. It was called Shot One. And they all had all sorts of different characters that they had created, all different skills. Imagine competitive Tron disc throwing, mixed with air hockey.
It's
It
like
was
it's like a
sick.
2-player.
Mixed
I don't
with
know if you can
Ultimate
get
Frisbee.
more players than 2, but
That
it's
would
like
actually be sick though.
it's like
bigger
a
map with,
so
like-
far it is
like
like a
smaller
one.
character.
It's a
Yeah,
1v1 like think like disc golf where you throw like a Tron disc and it bounces off the walls and it's like a small party game. It
Yeah, Tron.
It is
hockey,
ridiculously
and Ultimate
fun.
Frisbee.
I think the different was the ultimate frisbee aspect
Yeah.
of you stay in one place. Because I think if you were able to move, it'd just be this is just throwing like hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that like different than what I'm seeing or like what we've seen before in other games, but 100% was like that aspect of being able to throw it, and it like the characters were so cool.
Yeah, no, they had like each had unique power-ups and that could like alter how you're supposed to play.
Oh, yeah.
Like the freaking cat mech just summoned a little companion onto the battlefield.
It would help you out.
And it would help you out and like if it got hit by the frisbee, it just knock it straight to you.
Oh yeah, it was
I've actually
That's sick.
legitimately such a fun game to play. That was the first game I saw there I looked at it and went, this is a game I would play on my own.
Yeah, no, that game blew me away because a team of independent developers, all of them working in their free time to make that game, and it was fully fleshed out.
And
like,
they had a small merch table next
Yeah.
to it. So we bought something small to just support them.
as broke college kids, we
As
did all
broke
we
college
could.
kids, but like seriously, we just wanted to be like, hey, this game's awesome. What can we do to support it?
Yeah,
Like,
no, it was It was really cool. Like the character designs were all very well done.
Better than some Nintendo games being pushed right now.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
kidding.
legitimately.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
So, right now, if you were to check out 2 games listening to this, check out Shot 1
Yeah.
and
Gunrunner. I
Are
don't.
they?
Gunrunner-
Shot One's not out yet.
Shot One
It's not.
is not out yet.
You
But
can
you
you
can
can
wish
follow
list
the
it, I think.
you can. I don't know if you can
You,
yet.
do they not even have a store page yet?
Nope, I don't know.
Dang.
But I do know that you can follow their development on their TikTok, which is just Shot One.
And
I've
Instagram.
been
And
seeing
Instagram, yeah.
and Instagram.
Mhm.
I've been seeing their development for months now, and I had no idea they were at PAX until they were like, oh, like David and Leighton were like, oh yeah, no, we saw this really cool game. Come try it out. I walk over, I'm like, I've seen this game.
And also, by the
His
way,
TikTok
you
feed.
can absolutely wishlist it right now. It
Is it
just
on
will
Steam?
not be available, and they do not have a release date for it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
'cause
is
they're
totally-
still,
it's
they're
totally
still
fine, 'cause
adding
they're- yeah.
characters and still fleshing out certain things. Because when I was playing the game, I could definitely tell it was just a little rough around the edges. Like a little bit of the movement felt a tad bit strange. But obviously, it's a passion project.
Yeah, it was
and they're working on it in their
really-
free time.
Right.
I'm gonna give them a little bit of slack.
I would say follow updates on like
Yeah.
TikTok
Yeah.
and Instagram
For both
They
Shot
po-
One and for Gunrunner.
they
if you
post
can find
like
it.
new character releases and updates and whatnot.
Actually, we
just
can
really
probably
the development of the game.
I'll probably drop the tags when I
We
edit
should
this.
every
in
time
the
we like
description of
talk about a
YouTube
new
and
one. You
stuff
should
like that.
you should stick up a title and an image for it.
Yeah.
But moving
So-
on to like another game, the third game that we saw that we all kind of that was the first one we all like went and did together as like a group, and then
'cause
we kind of
that's
split off after
seen
that.
it.
Yeah, Ethan, do you want to go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, no. So Demio, another game that we passed by, is it's pretty actually a pretty large team. It's been out
It
in
is.
the VR store for a pretty long time. But it is a VR and computer. Like it has a bunch of platforms, but they have a pretty large focus on VR.
I think
and
I think it's PlayStation VR. They had it on the Oculus Quest,
Meta.
and then that was the second one they had it on was the Meta. The
well,
Oculus-
Meta is all Oculus stuff, is what I mean.
Okay, so they had it on Meta, they had it on PlayStation, and then they had it on just Steam in general.
Right.
And then so you could play it on the PS5 and on PC, and then VR. So
I think that was like one of the differences. Like I'd heard about it from Nick, one of my personal friends who owns the game on his VR, and it's a D&D style VR game where you can see the action as it plays. There's no DM, but it is like you choose a campaign almost, and it runs you through as you try to go through the dungeons and
Yeah.
like help your friends. And
you
it
choose
was
a
like,
character, choose a campaign, and then you go at it.
It was mind blowing. It was
It
like
was fun.
the
Ugh.
amount of David
Spoiler.
didn't get that much.
It was
but
so sad. Some dude just unplugged the headset like probably 10, 15 minutes beforehand, and the headset just died.
Yeah.
Right then and there, it just died. I was like 2 minutes in. I was
So
hosting the
unlucky,
game
too.
and everything. I was having a fantastic time getting right into it because like the whole thing is you are watching over your characters actually play the game.
Yeah.
Like and stuff is just happening to you. You have to decide how to respond. You have
Yeah.
like you have a certain time frame when you can respond to all sorts of different attacks, stuff like that, and movement and things like that. Have certain limited actions. Really blew me away.
Yeah.
And I got like 2 minutes of the game,
Yeah.
which was really, really sad. But I did happen to meet 2 really interesting people in the meantime. The first of
Yeah,
which
you
was
jerk.
a Kim Kitsuragi cosplayer. And Kim Kitsuragi is a character in Disco Elysium. And
His favorite game. The
my
book.
favorite game. I don't know if you guys have heard of it before, because I may or may not have mentioned it once or twice or like
Once
Every
or
episode.
twice.
Once or every episode.
Hey, editor Ethan, can you throw up a Disco Elysium count right now?
just 5 million. That is every single waking moment. is a Disco
Who
Elysium
what
count.
was it? Who was the other person you met?
So, Jamishio, he, in the meantime, while they are literally just playing the game, having fun, like my headset dies, I go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go check out this guy. And then I come back, sit down for a second, and see these guys still playing. And then I see the one, the only, the Discord moderator guy off TikTok, and I walk up and take a picture with him.
God.
It was so
He comes
funny,
back,
dude.
and I swear to God, I was like, did you Photoshop that? Because I don't know, in my brain, I thought he was sitting there the entire time. And I knew he kind of got it for a second. But it was like the span of him talking to us for legitimately, it was like, oh yeah, no, yeah, you guys are having fun. And then 10 seconds later, he comes back with a photo of him in this creator. And we were like, what? And he was just laughing so hard. It was great though.
It was fantastic. I just saw him and I was like, yeah, I gotta have the opportunity. This is a funny photo that I can take right now.
But yeah, I know that. So Demio was quite fun. It was Divinity Original Sin 2, but more back to D&D roots.
Oh yeah.
Grid lines, specific movements, but all animated characters. It was sick.
And it was also some of the animation. I mean, again, it's been out for 2 years almost.
Yeah.
But it's Leighton moves his character out into this hallway that we didn't explore yet, and I can't, in my view, he can see the enemies that have now just popped up on his screen in his range, but because I'm so far behind him, I just see an arrow fly through and hit his character, and I'm like, whoa, Leighton, what happened? And he's like, I'm getting attacked, and then 4 different monsters come over the hill and just start attacking him, and it was this thing of it literally would be in D&D, your character wouldn't be able to see what has just happened other than an arrow fly down the hallway, and it's that's so cool.
My dog
one
died.
Of those things, it removes
His side character
dog
died from poison while we were studying there. We all
It
just
took
screamed,
one
"No."
hit.
It was sad.
Dead.
I didn't even know about that. That's
Yeah.
funny as hell.
It was fun. It was quite funny.
Okay, wait, but one of the coolest things about that is it kind of removes metagaming.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because you're not aware of what's going to happen and stuff like that. You may have some outside knowledge, if it's firing an arrow, it might be I don't know, an archer or something like that.
But those are inferences a normal person would make.
Yeah. But things if you saw a chest, you might not immediately open it. You might just slash at it or something like that.
Right.
That's Dark Souls instinct.
It was, oh god, it was so cool, and I've known about it, and I brought my VR backs just so we can play it. But I definitely, that's another game that we definitely recommend.
We had
Oh
that.
man,
But
I will say really quick though, I was looking through. I just looked at Trinity Fusion on the game page again, and it said similar to games, Hades. Aileen, you want to talk about that?
Okay, so Trinity Fusion was another game we popped up to. It was a Metroid-like platformer. I wouldn't say it was similar to Hades at all, but
Honestly, no,
not even close. But it was quite fun, and the animations were very smooth, and it was an interesting concept.
But you want to talk about your Hades story?
Oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. The same vendor that was selling the Nico plush that Aiden bought was selling this Hades desk mat for $25. Number one, Hades is for background context, Hades is the new game that hit us this year while we were doing podcasts and stuff. That hit me because David was playing it. I was like, holy crap, this game is freaking awesome. Amazing game. Outstanding. And they had this desk mat there, and I was really interested in it, and I really kind of wanted to get it. But then I was like, "Oh no, I don't think I want to spend any more money because I'm about to go get Bova's down in North End to go eat some cannolis, and I don't want to spend money here first." And I should have just bought it.
Big cannoli guys.
I should have just bought it. It was so.
Granted,
cool.
those cannolis were fucking delicious.
Yeah, because
They
Bova's.
were amazing.
I'm not going to get into that conversation because many people could disagree and say modern cannolis are better. I'm sorry. It's Bova's. It's Bova's. Lobster tails at Mike's, cannolis at Bova's. But anyway, yeah. So another thing that stood out to us, another notable game, I would say game developer here, was Focus Entertainment. And do you guys want to speak on that a little? Because I'm not quite sure.
I was probably the biggest of the
Yeah,
group because I've played A Plague Tale, which we've talked about on the podcast.
Well, Plague Tale was Plague Tale. Sorry, I should
Yeah.
say.
I also re-downloaded
Oh
it
my
because I
God.
didn't finish it.
That booth was amazing.
So
It was
cool.
so
I
cool.
told
That
you
was
guys
so
it was
cool.
gonna because
I will say there was one booth that blew me away more than that one though. That
Was it the Cult of the Lamb?
Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, no,
No,
The
that
Cult of
thing
the Lamb
was
booth was
huge.
massive, and they did a really good job like
It was
setting all that up.
beautiful. But yeah,
But
continue.
It was almost bigger than
I think
Nintendo's.
these guys were playing a draft with a couple of our buddies, and I just walked away because I was like, I think I was kind of burnt out with Magic, and I just wanted to walk away, just get a couple, like a breather or something.
Yeah.
And I walk up, and this like incredible French lady, and I just identify that she's French because she was like speaking to me in French at first, and then I was like, oh, I know French, and then like basically embarrassed myself because she just completely started talking, and I was like, back to English, please.
There is no way that I didn't hear about this
Bullshit.
at all.
I'm not even joking. It happened, and I was so more focused on not speaking about it because I wanted to save it for right now. But anyways,
That's-
I'm talking.
That's funny as hell.
I'm getting embarrassed.
That's almost
talking
like the
about it right
Aiden.
now.
That's
Oh my
almost
God.
like the Aiden
Oh my
recreation story.
No.
What?
The recreation story, the card game, when you thought it was me.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes, yeah.
No. Okay,
I will
so-
say though, really quick about different languages and stuff. We went to a food truck while there, and we got burritos. They weren't the best. Or
Oh,
whatever.
is this-
But yeah, they get Aiden's order and they go, Kane, and we're just like, what?
Yeah, no, it's
Kane?
like we're all waiting like for someone to walk up to the window.
Carne
Like
asada? Is that?
And then they.
Kane.
I gave the name Kane, and they were reading it as Kane.
Like how
And
I gave the name Martinez.
like no one was coming up, and I'm like, wait a minute, Kane, that's me.
Yeah, no. They described it as like. They described the order there, and then the dude behind him, I guess they were just hungry or whatever, was like, did you not hear your name, dude? And I said, his name's Aiden.
Jesus.
And everyone in the area
Christ.
starts laughing. So
Oh my gosh.
What was it? But yeah, no.
Back to Plague Tale.
No, just to finish that, we're playing this game called Recreation, and
Wreck as in like when you wreck your car.
Yeah, like-
and
Yeah.
then
It was like a
recreation.
what is it like? Asphalt. It's like likened to Asphalt. That series where it's just like you crash into other cars and it's a big explosion. Anyways, I
Almost
went
like
over,
a Burnout Paradise. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went over. I got in line, played a little bit. Like walked up, was playing, and Aiden came over, played next to me, and I left. Aiden moved over to my spot,
And
a
the
dude
two of
moved
us.
in.
Oh yeah, some dude moved into your spot,
Yeah.
and then friggin' David and I came over to like investigate and go, oh, what's this? Oh my goodness! And then we promptly left because there was other things that like caught our eye.
Yeah, you came back to like Hyper or something like that.
It
But-
was Azorius, I believe.
Yeah. And I walk around the corner after like kind of looking around the booth a little bit, and I see Aiden pressing a controller on the dude next to him, and I was like at my first glance was like, holy crap, this guy like maybe the dude asked like, how do I do something, and Aiden was like, oh, you just boost, like hold A, and promptly like legitimately right after he does this, he looks up for a second, drops the controller, and like fast-paced walks out of the booth, and I was like, where are you going? I follow him, and he looks at me and goes, Ethan, we need to leave. And I was like, what? And he goes, I swear to God, I just thought that guy was Leighton, and so I just held A on the dude's controller to help him. And I was like,
This motherfucker comes up to me and tells me this story right after, and I started dying. I was,
was
like, oh
so
my
bad.
god.
Oh my god, I didn't know it was,
It was
that
so
bad.
bad.
It was
I
freaking
thought
hilarious.
he went over and like hit a bumper or something like
No.
that.
No,
He
full
held
on 3 seconds of my
Oh
finger
my
on that
God.
guy's A
I
key,
definitely
and
was
then
not
he
as-
he looked
that
up.
story is worse
I looked
than
at
the
like
French thing.
he
First thing was quick.
he froze. he froze,
This
then
guy.
looked up, and I froze and then looked up, realizing it is not Leighton, and then I'm just like, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
So bad.
Oh my god.
And like we got sidetracked, but yeah, no, that story was like it because another reason why I didn't really say it because it was very quick and I just got really embarrassed fast. And
Yeah.
then she again, she was really really incredible. She just immediately started like showing me things and like posters on the booth, and she just gave them to me. I don't know if you can see them that well here.
David, do you want to hold them up to the camera?
David?
Yeah, I got you.
Just show this one. I mean, the other ones are cool too.
Okay, just for reference, these photos were free, right?
Yeah. They were like these little bundles that were on the thing. She's like, "Hey, take one of these," and
What is this
showing them off.
This dude.
But so yeah, this she's talking to me about this, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Like, you guys do a play tale. Like, I love this game. It's probably one of my favorite games that I played last year." She's like, "Oh, really? Like, do you like pins? Like, here, take a free one." And I took one of the ones that was on the desk, and she's like, "If you really like pins, like, here's a set that were like all of these things are on sale, and it's like this thing, and they had like these limited edition Plague Tale pins." And as we're talking, I'm like, "Oh my god! Like, I'll definitely buy that. They were on sale, so I purchased." She's like, "If you want to check out some other things, go around this corner here." And they had this glass display that went all the way down.
It was so sick. He brought us back there afterwards
God.
to show us because he was so impressed. And
I wonder if
it was awesome.
I think we had that on stream, so I might be able to
Point
pop
it out.
a video in here. But it was like, oh god,
Yeah,
it was so cool.
Like the glass display case had like a bunch of like just Plague Tale merch and stuff, and
and Warhammer and stuff,
Yeah,
like
and
just
Warhammer.
other games that they had.
one of
It
the
was cool.
one of the things they had was this like metal statue of
The two main characters of the game.
like Hugo and I don't
What's her name?
Alania or
Elena? Yeah, something like that.
Elena or,
Elena? Yeah.
And, oh wait, I'm just gonna. Why did I?
Alenia. Arnold.
It's like Amicia.
Amicia,
Yeah.
that's what it was.
yeah. So
Just-
Amicia,
Hugo
it
says
was
that all the time.
it was Amicia and Hugo with like next to each other shying away from this horde of rats coming up the side. It was
which is like
sick.
the gameplay of that.
Yeah,
game.
it's like the whole
It
thing.
was so cool. And I was like, I'm watching these, and I come back, and later I was able to show them, but like it blew my mind when I was seeing them because they had another one, and both of these were worth like. The dude
too
working
much.
was
Oh
like,
my God,
"You're lucky
yeah.
that these sold out because they're too much money." And like the other one that hadn't sold out yet was like 189.
Yeah,
and,
and
like,
the metal one was more than that.
It was
100%,
probably like 500.
Yeah, it was a
honestly.
lot.
crazy.
It was sick though. It was a really cool booth, and I really enjoyed that you showed us that. But I think so. Yeah, Focus Entertainment was really cool, and that was pretty much the baseline for like a lot of the
video game
games
type
and the
stuff.
video
Yeah,
game
yeah.
stuff. But moving on from that, there were a couple of notable like just shops in general around the area. We talked about the one that was selling like the Hades mat and the Nico plush, and but there were a couple of others, like for example the MTG shops, like all the magic
there were
shops
a
that were
lot
around
of
there.
magic shops. I mean-
frequented those magic shops too frequently.
I mean, I think there were two big takeaways for me, at least, for the magic shops. The number one was that I was able to sell $200 worth of cards, and then the other things were like I got a new deck to play with. It was from the Warhammer sets. I got a few cards which I've been looking for a long time.
Elvis
And then-
Champion, oh my god.
Yeah, the final one that just like blew me away
The fact,
was
okay,
the Japanese boxes.
yeah, all four of us, $35. This one lady was selling What?
Sorry, I just my entire,
35.
Yeah, no, keep
35
going,
bucks.
sorry.
My bad. But this one lady was
Right
selling
now.
these boxes that she was telling us a story. She's like, these have been in my locker since like 2012. I haven't touched them. I just need to sell them. First off, Japanese cards don't necessarily sell very well in the U.S. market just because it's in Japanese, and you know people like to be able to read the cards, and
Which
we
completely
can't.
makes sense.
And it makes sense. But
But if you're a weeb,
we're all fucking nerds, we all get interesting over it. We all had it was a really good deal. And so it was $35 for this big old Innistrad Japanese set, and all four of us bought
which
one.
is really sick, and I didn't expect the packs that were inside of it.
Oh yeah,
Like,
those old like
We-
the original Innistrad in Japanese packs, amazing.
like that is ridiculously good. Like, I mean, Ethan got a little gypped, but it's just because he didn't pull anything crazy.
And it's
I
just
pulled a
the
really good
difference in
card.
how we all pull and are like packs and stuff. I'm indifferent over the Japanese packs personally. Like I feel like they're not they're really cool in certain aspects, but they're not my favorite. Like I'd rather just get probably an
normal
English,
one,
or like Phyrexian.
Oh my god, Phyrexian.
But
the Phyrexian ones are cool.
this was like, oh no, that's so sick. I purchased it, and I like the little voice in my head was like, you're purchasing this because you have thoughts of selling these cards, not because you want any of these cards. Why are you purchasing this, Ethan? And then I still did it. And then
again,
came back
Japanese
to the table.
cards don't sell that well in the US
Right.
market.
And
Like, nobody of the vendors at the none of the vendors at the booth would take like
They
a
wouldn't-
$13
Which
card.
we were
that's
talking about
Japanese.
literally all day. We're like, hey, they didn't buy your Korean card. Did
Yeah,
they?
I had a Korean Lotus Petal that sells for like $70, which would have been a great thing for me to have. Like, walk away $35 in my pocket. $45 store credit. Like, that'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic. That's like a new deck for me.
But
then none of them would take it because they're just like, we just can't move the foreign cards, which makes complete sense. So I might just throw that foreign one into one of my decks, like because I feel like everyone knows what a Lotus Petal does if you play Magic.
but who's to say, right?
But at the same time,
Fine.
too, like some of the foreign cards are really notable. Like when Leighton had a huge pull,
I pulled I don't remember what it was called. Probably because it was in Japanese, and
Why
I had
am
never
I-
seen that card before.
a raging not Raging Bailoff. Why can't I remember the name of the card?
It was the green.
I know exactly what it is. It's something Behemoth.
It was a $40 green card. I pulled it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is really. I did not recognize it. At all.
Craterhoof Behemoth. That's what it
And
is.
David goes, "Oh my god, I've been looking for that card forever. Holy shit, I will trade with you right now." And I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, I really pulled a 40." It didn't feel like it, obviously, because when I do pull something like that, it's like, holy shit. But again, it was in Japanese, so there is a thing there. But
yeah, he pulled that card, and I mean, like, the value isn't there if you're not going to play the card. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, I've been looking to play this card in English for like the longest time, dude. And I didn't want to buy it online because it's like $40 online too. And like I was like, I'll see if it's at the con, like see, because then then you have some memories attached to it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then the dude fucking pulls it.
I ended
And
up
it's
giving
not-
it to him.
It's not at a single booth. Like
Yeah, it wasn't at a single one, Japanese or English, and yeah, I just gave it to you. I'm not gonna use the card, so it doesn't matter. And he felt bad, so he compensated me with a nice soul ring he bought. But I'm alright at that.
The Soul Ring was really pretty too.
Yeah, it's very pretty. It's in Toxic right now.
It's bruh.
All of my nice lands and everything I got are in Toxic right now.
Oh
So
my
is Tyrannix
God.
Rex.
But
But-
also they
I'm
like
gonna
the
be
Japanese
putting all my
boxes.
Japanese lands into mill.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, all the Japanese lands.
The Japanese lands are sick because they're basic lands. Everybody knows what they do.
I should just call
and
my
they're in
mill deck,
Japanese. They're just sick.
Wrath of God.
No,
Please don't.
no, please don't.
Please
It's
don't.
it. I mean, I'd call it in the deck builder app that I got. I called it "Fuck Your Library."
Oh, that's evil. I hate you so much. Yeah, Mill sucks. But moving on from there, a lot of MTG shops. We had a lot of fun. Our friend that came up the day prior on Friday, he had a friend of his and that friend's dad. They bought a draft box, and we all drafted together. It was really fun. We drafted Phyrexia will be one, and
Great
it was sick.
time,
I pulled
yeah.
a couple of really nice cards from that one, like a mirror, like a legendary creature, but it was sick. We had a really good time with the Magic
it was
stuff.
a
and
fantastic time.
there was a wide variety of stores for Magic,
But there were a few other that were like real standouts too.
oh yeah,
Like,
the
yeah. I think we're gonna talk about the same one here.
Many Worlds Tavern. Or,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the Many Worlds Tavern. That's
That-
the one I was going
that-
for.
was awesome. Aiden, you want to take a stab at Many Worlds Tavern?
Which one was Many Worlds Tavern?
The coffee
The
one.
coffee one.
The coffee
and tea
place?
one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not into the coffee, but the freaking tokens were hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, those were
the
awesome.
tokens were amazing. I bought an entire pack because I was like, this place, amazing art, amazing atmosphere, amazing goods.
The playmats were.
I will
mean-
say though,
Yeah, I mean, there's
We both
two.
have
They
two
both
now.
bought playmats from Many Worlds Tavern.
their coffee is incredible. I don't know if I've ever smelled coffee that good before. Like
Oh, yeah.
outside of like a legit.
I opened up the dark roast in the room like probably 10 minutes before the podcast, and he goes, "That's the holy crap!"
Wait, I might. Is it okay if I open up right now
I
so
mean,
you can smell it?
Sure.
Because, oh my.
It was actually I
Lord.
haven't smelled the house blend.
I'm-
Or the homely blend, right?
I haven't opened it yet, the Homely House Blend.
Yeah.
So it was funny because Ethan bought the dark roast. That smells really good. Ethan bought the dark roast because we are all coffee. We like coffee except maybe Aiden. like Ethan
I'm
has
mid
a
on coffee
maker.
because I like
it doesn't.
I
do
like
things good to
coffee
you.
with I like coffee
Um,
with my creamer and not creamer with my coffee.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
one of those guys,
accurate. Yes.
But Ethan bought the dark blend, and I'm also a coffee nerd, and so is my like older sister. So I bought the homely house blend, and both of us got like a token with both of our purchases, like an MTG token. It was really fun and really sick, and just I don't know, it was a great atmosphere. The tea was excellent. The chamomile was amazing.
okay,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna keep
God,
it
the
real.
chamomile
I am
was awesome.
a bit of a tea snob, and I wasn't super impressed with their teas, but very impressed with their coffees.
Yeah,
That was one of the
I mean,
things.
that's valid.
Like,
You have to. We should have checked out more of the tea. I feel like.
I
Yeah, we
agree.
should've.
No, I totally agree. But like the teas I checked out, I was like,
Yeah.
It also could be. It totally could be preference because chamomile is one of those ones that I was like, nah, I've had better chamomile before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also easier to come by really high quality chamomile.
Yeah.
But like, I could have checked out some of their like jasmine or something, which is
The
really hard
jasmine
to get at
smelled
high.
really good.
Yeah, it's hard to get jasmine at really high quality, and
It-
from what I heard from Aiden, that shit apparently was amazing.
Yeah.
So
But speaking of tea, there is another notable shop, D&D Tea. I wasn't as into this because like
I wasn't as into it either.
I had just heard about it, and then we like went over there
Yeah.
and talked about it.
I think it was like it was more of like a that's cool, and we walked through it thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was notable.
Yeah,
As-
it was notable.
It wasn't something. Like not to say that it's not a good shop. I 100% bet that like I'd enjoy their tea if I tried it.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
But it wasn't something that like because we had purchased from Many Worlds. It was like this is really cool, but you know.
We already got our
We just
stuff.
kind of walked through, took
Yeah.
a look. They did have a lot of cool blends, like it was like Elf Made or something like that. It's just like a play on D&D because
Yeah.
they are D&D.
yeah,
made.
it's a play on
But,
D&D type stuff.
That kind of stuff is so cool. Like I bought it because I'm planning on getting a coffee grinder, at least the Many Worlds, and like grinding up coffee, and then we can all play on Saturdays and just have coffee at the table.
Oh my
Like, that's
God.
Oh my
really
god,
cool.
that would be so sick. Oh, okay. So, well, first off, this kind of leads into a conversation about how I don't want to go on this tangent, so I won't. I'm just going to mention it for a moment. Is how the market now for like D&D stuff is starting to turn towards the food aspect of D&D. And getting into like
kind of interesting.
drinking coffee with D&D and Magic, drinking tea with D&D and Magic, and like I'm seeing like I saw that at PAX, and it was really cool to see. And I mean, as one who is a avid food enjoyer, I'm
a big food guy.
I'm a big food
I
man.
have it at least like 3 times a day. Like
at least once, right?
I got at least one big meal a day.
But
okay? Like,
It was interesting to see that they had started expanding. Shut the fuck up. It was interesting that they started expanding that. But moving on from there, we went and got like D&D dice from the one shop.
oh, but yeah, do you want to talk about that really quick? That
I want Ethan to talk about that.
Ooh.
Okay. Actually, no, they won't be able to see it. But they both bought
These
like mystery dice.
Yeah, it was David
And-
and I at the shop.
which was really cool, and I have it again on stream. And I remember on stream you guys standing there and like doing stuff, and me being like, "Oh, we're waiting for David and Leighton to do something," and like I didn't ever ask you guys what you got, and then later you guys pulled out the dice, the mystery dice.
We both bought a set of metal mystery dice. We ended up trading the 2 that we got.
I mean, I still personally think it's we both were very happy with.
Oh,
that
we were
trade.
both
Yeah,
very
like,
happy with it. Like we bought a set of mystery metal dice for like $20, which was a pretty good deal because
I mean, for
they picked it
metal
out.
dice,
Yeah.
like,
That's what I'm saying. It was awesome. And then yeah, so we traded. Like, I originally got a set of like lime yellow with a lime green like set of like metal
Circular dice.
like circular-ish like soccer
which is
ball dice.
Really,
It was really interesting.
really cool.
Like the D20 is a soccer ball.
It literally is, and it really stood out to me because I've never seen dice played like that before. And
It rolls well.
I'm very into like unique things, like when it comes to that. I mean, I feel that's pretty obvious from what I like, but like,
Just go easy.
but then I got these really cool. It was kind of like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like it wasn't a matte finish. It was like a gloss finish.
It was a gloss, yeah.
Yeah, a gloss finish of like, imagine like a 1960s red car.
Like
with,
red and black
red
highlights.
and black,
Ooh,
like
yeah.
it's like shiny and cool stuff.
was
It looks
awesome.
amazing.
I gotta look
in
more
the
because
light.
I only saw
like,
in like plastic. I
You
gotta
know, out of the
see.
plastic, it
It
has
is
like the
beautiful.
sheen to it. Oh, the dice are so sexy.
the dice themselves, but I already have ones that are by the same company, and they change colors. So I'm like, I don't want like identical dice that are like the same type. So I got these like I got the circular kind of rolly ones,
Yeah.
and they roll
We traded.
amazing.
It was
yeah,
sick.
it was a great trade. But these two guys came up, and they both got bangers of dice sets.
Oh, yeah.
too, dude.
I got like so basically me and Aiden got almost the exact same dice, but his is
Bullshit.
pure metal, and then mine has gems on the inside of it. But it is of the same kind of frame. But it is like she pulled them out, and I opened them up and went, holy cow! And I like dumped them into my hand. I think the light made them like purple or something like
yeah.
that. But now that we've looked at it,
It's like a blue-
it's like a blue, like turquoise, and it's like,
Almost like
oh.
if I was to compare it to anything, it would be like the Ethereum like color, like the teal look, but like gemmy from like
Which is
Skyrim.
funny.
It
Which is
was
funny.
sick.
funny.
Why is that funny?
Because
Oh yeah,
it's fun.
because my character.
secrets, but you know,
Anyway,
Bro.
D&D secret.
Yes, it is D&D secret.
but yeah, so there were a couple of things. There were a lot of interesting shops there at PAX that we all had a lot of fun with, and then some moving past just shops, going into like companies and stuff. Obviously, we have a podcast, so we wanted to network a little bit, and we did so with like those indie game companies. It was awesome. We talked to them. We were like, oh yeah, blah blah. And like we talked to them and hit them up, and then this motherfucker.
I mean, I kind of, I tried to network a little bit with HyperX. Like, the dude was interested in hearing about us. And he was just like, yeah, we'll actually give you guys a listen to.
It was
if
funny.
we like your content, we might send you some free stuff. Like, and, like, it could have just been,
Courtesy. It could have been common
It could have
courtesy.
just been like, what is the mouth something or other, but like there's like a phrase for that.
Yeah, I know what you
it totally could have been that, and just to make smaller creators feel good
Yeah.
when they're never actually going to do anything.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, the prospect of having like a really big person behind us would be really neat.
Yeah, it was just funny, like how we were all like kind of
they were all
networking
really
and talking to
cool
people. Yeah, no,
people.
they were all nice.
They were all great people. Yeah.
That's one thing that kind of annoys me with that the whole Xbox and Sony pulling out of PAX is that it's not just Xbox and Sony as the company, it's the people within the company talking to the people in the community, like individuals talking to each other. And that's the coolest part of it, is like I'm talking with these people, I'm speaking with them. Yeah, they work at this company, but they themselves are just a normal dude, like normal person playing games and like enjoying themselves as well.
I think like it's when it goes to. I mean, you hear the big three names of Nintendo,
Sony
and Xbox, and it's like Sony and Xbox, they have their own showcases now.
Yeah.
Which is like, we get that, but it's also like you come to PAX, like you're meeting a group of people that get to play this new game, whatever. But it comes down to like HyperX, which is like they rely on the customer, which in the end like Xbox does as well.
Yeah.
But like HyperX relies on getting that conversation in and being like you should try our product, and like being very genuine, which is what you're supposed to do as a company.
Yeah.
I just think that it lacked with the other like the big names.
Yeah.
But it worked really well with like Nordic and
THQ
with
Nordic did a great
HyperX
job.
too. I mean, like the dude who I talked to was the main designer for their keyboards. Like that stuff's.
Okay, this is not something that you mentioned to us, David.
I'm sorry.
We're coming
But-
up with new details.
but-
It's just how it goes.
As the conversations go on, what the hell?
But like legitimately, that's who he was, and it was really cool that I got to talk to him because he asked me certain questions. He's just like, and he's just like, yeah, do you know anything about keyboards? Like, here, enter this raffle thing. I'm like, yeah, I do know a little bit about keyboards. I
Yeah,
actually really like
it's funny how
keyboards.
just prior to this, you had been like scavenging for your keyboard over there and doing a ton of research on different kind of keyboard types.
Oh yeah, this is how it goes. I get hyper focused on one thing and focus on it, and So I knew a lot about keyboards that I was able to like talk to him about, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I am the lead keyboard creator here." And he's just like, "So what type of switches do you use? Like, what's your brand?" And I'm like, "Well, linear switches. I'm using Gateron Geckos right now. They're silent linear switches because I live in a dorm room and I try to be quieter."
None of these words make sense to me.
Basically, all it means is they have no click and no feel when they slide. So. And, I mean, if you want to get into it more, they have a high actuation point of 65, but, like...
This motherfucker! Every time!
But I talked to him about that, and he was, like, legitimately, like, fully interested, which is just really, really cool. Like, I just love it.
Yeah. No, but, like, that personability thing was there, and
yeah.
that's what makes it fun. Like with Azorius, too. Even talking to the booth people at Azorius.
I mean, I think overall,
nice.
the biggest takeaway I got, I mean, the best experience I had was meeting the Shovel Knight dev, and then overall for me was meeting the indie guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the indie guys was my number one, period. Like, it was super cool to see people who are, like, small time, just like how we're kind of small time. Maybe not the same level, like, they're a video game designer, and they're actually designing a video game, and we're just a podcast. But it's cool to see, like,
I mean,
on the
just
smaller
podcast,
scale of
I
things.
mean, we're still, like, we're still
Yeah,
trying our hardest there.
Yeah, so
Like-
don't sell us short here. But,
Don't sell it short here. I mean, we're kind of cool. Like,
No comment. Overall, I think that the indie games were just the cool. Like, it was one of the best parts of the whole thing. Like, being able to get there and like talk to the people and like experience that.
Yeah. And
communicate.
I mentioned it before, but like my overall would be definitely the or it's talked about at the beginning. Like, I've been to other PAXs, and at front, like, first glance, Friday, end of Friday, I was like, you know, that was pretty fun. Like, all the guys, like, it's their first time, and at the end of the day, I was like, kind of a bummer though, like, we didn't get to see these big names, blah, blah, blah. And then right as Saturday hit and we got into the groove of Saturday, it, like, opened my eyes up to the idea of having a conversation. And I feel like in the other aspects, like, I'm just I'm an attendee, I'm going and I'm enjoying PAX.
Yeah.
But I don't have any, like, focus of, like, hey, let's make a connection. And with this podcast, like, that brings that aspect of, like, we were looking for people to just have a conversation to.
Yeah.
And, like, in the industry of talking about games and stuff, especially with, like, the developer for Gunrunner, Alex, like, having
Amazing.
that conversation with him and he just being able to give us the time to talk was, like, it was great. And that is a personal overall, like, I loved that takeaway.
I mean, now we have a personal connection with the game. And that, I mean...
my God.
That's how you build a game.
I was
honestly.
there. I started this whole speedrunning thing, beat a record. Ethan and I started leaving. I get food poisoning, go to the bathroom for a total of like 15, 20
that
minutes.
was so funny.
That
though.
sucks.
Like,
That sucks. It's because I drank a Starbucks double shot from one of the vending machines there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't take anything that might expire from a convention vending machine because you don't know how long it's been there. But I got food poisoning and then ended up going back to Gunrunner because I enjoyed it so much and I had so much investment in this.
Bro was playing the speed running game, and he's just like, oh my God, I just can't. And he's been playing it for like 45 minutes at this point, and he leaves.
No, I left. Didn't realize I had food poisoning. I started like getting a little dizzy, and then I left, and then it hit me in my stomach. I was like, oh my God, Ethan, I'm in so much pain.
Yeah. He was like, and the worst part about it was like, he was like, I think the stress amplified it of like just the timer. And also, that's another thing that we didn't mention. Gunrunner, if you want it to be, can be very casual. It does not have to be speedrunning.
It doesn't have to
or
be
anything
speedrun
if that's
game.
your side.
legitimately.
It was like, there was multiple people that walked up and it was the same how we just approached it of like, oh, let's get through the levels. And it's very approachable and just fun if you would like it to be. But it also brings that fun aspect of you can beat your time and like get better and stuff like that.
Yeah, you don't have to be a speedrunner. It's a very casual game as well. And I really enjoyed that it was very like open for anybody to really play.
Yeah. Back to the stress though. I legitimately say to him as he walks out of the bathroom, he goes, I think I'm going to go back and like try to beat my time. And I was like, Leon, don't you think you just told me that the stress was... I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe take a little bit. And he's like, I've already taken a bit. I'm going back. And he walks away.
I had already taken 4... I looked up, like... brother.
My bro.
He got it.
I
That's
looked
good.
up... check the camera real quick. I looked up symptoms and, like, treatment for, like, food poisoning. And it was just, like, get water... like it'll go away for a bit. And I
You're
had
good.
popped 4 Advil. I drank a bunch of water. I'm like, I'm good to go. Back to Gunrunner. It was sick. It was a really fun time. I enjoyed
Yeah,
myself.
you were sick.
Literally.
I mean, in retrospect, all of it was just like a blink.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That stuff was fantastic. I mean, I like wrapping up my overall thoughts. I really do think it was one of the best experiences I ever had with you guys. Like,
I'm
hands
excited,
down.
and I was, dude, all of the stuff that came out, which by the way, side tangent, Nintendo, if you're gonna, like, come out and say, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is not gonna be at PAX East, why the hell would you bring a very awesome statue as the forefront to walking into the
fucking-
convention?
Yeah, the fucking the one of the biggest like displays of like just an action like piece like figure for the whole convention was sitting right there at the front, and it's Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and Nintendo said there was nothing there. There was not gonna be
They
anything
literally
there.
had what was it? A important person at Nintendo just came out and was like, "Hey, we're not showing Legend of Zelda," but like you walk in and it was the first thing you see, and we were like, "Oh my god, what if it's here? What if they were lying?"
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Absolutely
Also,
nothing.
another thing that we didn't see because we didn't walk over to Square Enix, they had a huge statue of Ellie and an infected, like Ellie climbing over an infected
dang,
with
dude.
stuff. It was like so cool.
We missed that.
I was another thing I wanted to mention, but
Yeah.
What are your overall thoughts?
I did kind of like go over it, but like I do ending on where I was. I was worried that there wasn't gonna be big things here, and as stuff released of like, hey, Legend of Zelda's not gonna be here. Hey, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye are not gonna be here because of COVID. Hey, this like big names like Sony and Xbox are not gonna be here. I was like, oh, what if it's not as good as I thought it was? And then we got there, and one, it was like the fuel of being there for the first time, but two, like the second day solidified that you guys enjoyed it, and that was what I wanted to take away from, because I was like, guys, you got to come to PAX East, like it's gonna be great. And like even the thing of like we went out to a restaurant called the Salty Pig, fantastic.
Oh my
But, like,
lord.
Fantastic pizza.
We went back a second time, but also the other thing of like that was like a big thing about the trip. But then we're going home and we watched Zathura and we watched Princess Mononoke in the hotel, and the hotel was just an entire experience. It was just
It
like
was excellent.
the entire trip was just so great, and was definitely a stress reliever, a much needed stress reliever for like kind of the
Schoolwork
weeks that we've been doing for
sucks.
school.
Ugh.
But I don't know, PAX overall fantastic.
It was
great.
fantastic.
Also,
Well-
shout out to all teachers. If you have an assignment that is like really complicated and you know students are gonna need help with, can you like detail what the assignment? Like, can you just talk about what the assignment actually is? Like that would be really helpful in the future. Like,
Agreed.
Common nursing major L. Kidding, joking. But Aiden, what were your overall thoughts of PAX?
It was very fun, and I really enjoyed that I got to go with all of you.
Also,
I did
just
too.
noted to put this in, Aiden he's not distracted. Like he's not. I mean, he's distracted.
I'm
sort of,
distracted,
but
but for a good reason.
Yeah,
He's got
he
a
almost couldn't like come to this podcast because he's got a lot of work to do. But we run off the computer that he uses for stream because we originally were over here, and then we kind of moved
yeah, we
it
were
so we
using
could
my
talk to each other.
desktop at first.
he shuffled things around.
But like, props to Aiden for help like bringing his computer, but also like just so viewers and listeners know, if Aiden hasn't been speaking in, is because he's focused on
On
trying
that
to get
coding
this done.
assignment. He's focused on his CS assignments right now.
Never take C.
People will
Yeah.
know. People will know.
The game sucks.
But anyways,
But, my overall thoughts, I pretty much presented it. I enjoyed the whole thing. Like, seriously, that was some of the most fun I've had in a long time. And honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I have not known you guys that long. Let's be real. Like, it was this year, this school year. that
Mance
you-
really
this-
just was like, I want to learn magic, and then David bought him a deck, and it's been
This motherfucker, he comes up to me. For the record, I'm gonna
We've
just
known
put
each other
this-
for like what, 7 months, 6
Yeah,
months now.
this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Yeah, I heard you talking about how you've never played Magic before, and I was just wondering if you want to come like learn it." And I'm like,
Well,
"Yeah."
I peek into his room and I see the manga. We talk about manga for a second. I see he's a little nerdy. I said, "Hey," as he's walking down the stairs, would you be interested in playing Magic? And he goes, yeah, I've been trying to learn for a while. And thus began.
And that's again my goofy ass. But literally going to PAX and enjoying that whole thing was one of the best experiences I've had in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and getting to meet all the indie devs. I've talked about it a ton of times now, but seriously, like talking to Alex, talking to the Shot One devs, playing even the hockey game, although it was a little mid. I thought it was a little eh.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I enjoyed it, like being able to do that with you and being able to go and like play.
Yeah, having that shared
play
experience
DMO.
is really important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I mean, actually, we're not done yet. We have a little nerdy news to talk about.
Surprise, surprise! We got some nerdy news.
Just a little. I don't know where Ethan went.
No, it's okay. I can talk about these two.
But yeah, little nerdy news from David.
So the biggest intro for the nerdy news, what we are very interested in is the Fortnite Creative Season 2. What it is, and it is in currently a beta. They've released like 3 or 4 stages right now, but it's running on the newest patch of Unreal Engine.
Ooh.
In the game. Like, they have it so that creators will now be able to use Unreal Engine and put all the stuff from Unreal into Fortnite. So when we played it, it literally looks like a Fortnite character playing in like a fucking like a Plague Tale. Like,
yeah, no, there are
it's
some ridiculous.
crazy.
No, you can make just about anything in it. Someone's already made like Shrek doing the Macarena.
Okay, well, I would expect that.
Well,
to be
that
made.
makes
That's
that
an
makes
expectation.
sense.
I
For
mean,
Full
Fortnite.
on Unity or Unreal animations can be made. No,
Like,
That's actually insane.
No, literally,
it's ridiculous.
we were looking through it. It had a cutscene in the game. Like, we were playing through the Fortnite thing. It had a cutscene in one of the like demo things for the Unreal stuff.
What the hell? That's just crazy.
Yeah,
That's
there's
odd.
just
That blows my mind. Yeah, no, that. One, props to Fortnite and like the devs for allowing that in the first place, allowing people to screw around with the Unreal Engine in the game, because doing so opens up this whole more like a bigger creative aspect.
like
to
as
people.
we were saying, it's. I mean, Fortnite Creative is kind of turning into Roblox. Like,
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
no,
it's
not
not a
at
bad
all.
thing.
And also,
Oh, I see why he went. I
This
see why he
man
went to the
ordered
fucking
pizza.
This.
I
You
cannot
suck.
believe this guy.
You
I
missed
cannot
our
believe this
Fortnite
guy.
creative talk.
This man
jerk.
this man ordered pizza without us.
But I mean,
Side, hold on. I gotta speak about that.
Sit down. Get over
But
here.
I'm out of breath, so hold on.
You suck.
So, during the podcast, because I thought we would probably end it before they came, I order, and my phone's right here. And as we're talking about whatever we're talking, because I completely forgot, the phone goes off in a nearby location. Like, the thing was probably like 3 towns over. And so I was like, what the hell? And so I couldn't answer, obviously, so I typed in the phone number into Google to search up whose phone this was. And it comes up with like a random guy, and then the below one was Domino's. And it's just the word Domino's. And I was like, shit, that's my order. And so I grab the phone, and I walk out. He calls me again. I'm like, I'm on my way down. And I just like book it all the way down, grab my pizza, come back up. God, that was so jank. I was in my socks, too. I didn't grab anything.
Man ordered pizza in the middle of the stream.
Yes.
I hate you so much.
he's just like, I was hungry, guys. Like, what can you expect from me? I just needed some food.
I was.
But
Okay, well, you know what you get to do? You get to talk about our next nerdy news topic. Mandalorian
Mando
Season 3.
For real?
Yeah, so I
I
mean,
mean, I did add this. Anyways. Mandalorian, God, I'm out of breath.
Maybe we should give you a second.
No,
I mean, it
They
starts at the end of basically. If you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett, it kind of starts like right
Yeah.
where that ends off.
They did the first, I think it's 4 episodes now. The first 3 I watched with my friend in his home theater that they just like redid, so surround sound, and they had the Mando theme, and it was so
Bro,
good.
who has the money to have a home theater? Like,
Schroeder.
Schroeder.
oh, I'm aware. I
Not
know.
us.
I know.
Not us.
But so, what was it? The 4th episode came out. Spoiler for people online. I'm gonna give you 15 seconds to leave right now. Uno, dos,
So what type
tres.
of pizza did you have?
Oh, what did I get? Oh God, pepperoni Italian sausage. That's what I got. That's what I got.
Of course you did. You didn't get the salted pig.
And okay, basically, this new one, Jar Jar Binks, the voice actor for Jar Jar Binks, he was ridiculed offline, like the voice actor, because of his role, and he obviously didn't want this. He was pushed to some really dark stuff, and he talked about it for a very long time in his life. And one of the coolest things about this new episode is that they brought him back as a Jedi who dual-wielded 2 lightsabers and protected Grogu in a flashback.
Bro.
And it is one of the coolest scenes in this episode where he literally is like, it's just him, and then another Jedi falls, he grabs their lightsaber and comes out and just starts attacking clones like dual-wield. It's like a redemption arc that we all wanted. And
we all needed.
Yeah, seriously though. And it was just, so good. I'm so happy they did that.
Yeah.
But spoilers aside, it was like Mando has been pretty hot topic stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Further now.
It is basically Game of Thrones Part 2. I'm joking, but like
Ayo.
as hype wise.
I don't know. Am I gonna get a Mando South Park episode?
Probably.
Ayo?
I'm not kidding you. It's that popular.
Maybe.
But yeah.
Yeah. So I
I
mean,
think
do we
that's
have
it, right?
do we have anything else for some nerdy news? Aiden, I know you're generally the news expert here.
It's more.
I don't got.
No, I think.
No,
we're
I
all
mean this
good, though.
episode, yeah.
Also, you guys talked about Fortnite Creative.
Yeah, we
right?
did. We did.
Yeah.
we
I,
did.
2.0.
It was because I showed
I
him
haven't.
this stuff.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been
Crazy.
anything on the old TikTok feed recently, so.
Well, I think that's going to do it. David, the one thing we did not show off was our magic boxes that we got from PAX. And
I will say though, these things
they're kind of sick.
are amazing.
We got our complimentary patch that came with the box. That was
I
just
got my
wonderful.
Team-Up deck in-
You got a
in there.
patch with the box?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have too.
No, I didn't.
I'm gonna move this over here so he doesn't steal it.
I didn't get any patch.
They gave it with every purchase. The dude
Yeah,
that was working there.
every first purchase gets a
But-
patch with it.
But I didn't get that.
It's because you bought 2 boxes for the
Actually,
price
if
of
you
like.
want my patch, you can take it. I don't think I'm gonna use it.
Seriously though.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about this after the
But
stream.
yeah,
yeah,
regardless,
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching us and like hearing all about our experience at PAX.
It was a great episode.
It was wonderful. If you want to see this episode later, or if you want to, if anybody else is gonna like watch it later, it's
Yeah.
gonna release next week around on Saturday. Around what time do we normally release on
12.
Saturdays? Like 12.
Yeah,
You'll
Mid-
find it if you're looking on Saturday.
Yeah,
basically.
if you're looking on Saturday at like where we post to Spotify and YouTube Music, or not YouTube Music, whoops, Spotify, YouTube,
Basically,
Apple Music.
anywhere you are streaming your podcast, you can
Yeah.
find us, and we always appreciate any listen, any follow, especially follows right now. We're really close to hitting that affiliate link on Twitch. We appreciate all that you guys do, and yeah,
Yeah, well, we really appreciate it, guys. Reach out to us. We have an email linked in our Twitch, I believe, and elsewhere. If you want to reach out to us and give us some feedback, we really love feedback. It's obviously it's wonderful. Other than followers, it's the
it
best
helps
thing.
us.
It really helps us out, and we really appreciate you guys watching. And thank you so much.
Adios.
Bye. Gotta get